Welcome to Literacy Home Learning. This is a literacy unit appropriate for children learning from home during this extended school closure. It is designed to provide learning opportunities for primary age children and will help to develop their abilities within the national curriculum. This is lesson number 5 in the series. Please listen along to the video, pause when necessary, and be sure to listen for the task appropriate for your age and ability. To be prepared for today's lesson, make sure you have something to write with and your home learning book. Follow along with the video and be sure to pause when you have been given a task to complete. You'll know when to pause when you see the symbol in the bottom corner of the screen. Today's learning objective is to improve sentences. In today's lesson, we will continue to explore the book Black Dog by Levi Pinfold. We're going to read the rest of the story, starting from where we left off in the last video. Follow along and feel free to rewind the video and listen again if you wish. Outside, the black dog leaned towards her and breathed. "Crikey, you are big," said Small. "What are you doing here, you guffin?" The black dog snuffed at her. "All right then," she said. "If you're going to eat me, you'll have to catch me first." And with that, she scurried into the lowering trees. As she ran, she made up a song. "You can't follow me where I go unless you shrink, or don't you know?" The black dog followed. As Small hurried towards the frozen pond, under the bridge and over the ice, she sang, "You've got fat legs, ice is thin, lose some weight or you'll fall in." And the black dog followed. Next she scuttled through the playground, down the slide and around the roundabout singing, "You've a big tum, I'm all slim, you'll fit through if you're more trim." And still the black dog followed. Finally, Small had run all the way back to the house. "You'll find out why they all hide if you follow me inside." And with that, Small tumbled into her warm home through the cat flap. She really was that small. And so, by now, was the black dog. Inside, Small grabbed a washing basket, and as the black dog scrambled in behind her, she covered him with a loud "Ha!" Just then, the rest of the Hope family popped up from behind their barricade. "You haven't been munched," cried Mrs. Hope. "You haven't been crunched," cried Mr. Hope. "You haven't been eaten," yelled Maurice Hope, missing a poetic opportunity. "But where's the black dog?" asked Adeline. Without a word, Small lifted the basket. The rest of the Hope family were extremely pleased to see that the black dog was neither so huge nor so scary as they had feared. "He doesn't seem fierce at all now I really look at him," said Mrs. Hope. The rest of the family agreed. "We were silly," said Adeline. "Only Small knew the right thing to do." Everyone was quiet for a while, thinking how brave Small had been. "You've got a lot of courage facing up to a big, fearsome thing like that," said Mrs. Hope. "There was nothing to be scared of, you know," replied Small Hope as she went to sit by the fire, and the black dog followed. In the story, Small runs away from the black dog while singing. The author decides to use a variety of words instead of the word run to describe this. Here are the words the author decided to use. She hurried into the tree. She scurried towards the frozen pond. She scuttled through the playground. Using these improved words helps to make the story more interesting to listen to. Time for a quick task. It's always a good idea to think about interesting words to use. For this task, we'd like you to come up with some better words to use instead of what we have written. Try to come up with at least 3 examples for each phase. We've done one example for you. Moved slowly. Our example for that is crept. You need to think of 2 more. And then 3 more for moved quickly. Here's what we came up with for this quick task. For move quickly, we decided to use crept, tiptoed or shuffled. For moved quickly, we decided to use sprinted, bolted and raced. Time for the main task of the lesson. On the next slide, there will be several sentences that need to be improved. Rewrite them in your home learning book, replacing the boring words with better, improved words. You may also add new adjectives and adverbs to give the sentence more detail. Year 1 and 2, you need to replace the boring words with your improved words. Year 3 and 4, we would like you to add some fronted adverbials to each of your sentences. And Year 5 and 6, we'd like you to add fronted adverbials and a relative clause. Remember, a relative clause must begin with that, which, who, or whose. Here are the sentences we'd like you to improve. Small ran away from the dog. The boring word we'd like you to replace is ran. The dog walked around the house. The boring word we'd like you to replace here is walked. The family hid in the big living room. The boring word we'd like you to replace here is big. Small went inside the house through the cat flap. The boring word we'd like you to replace here is went. So remember, Year 1 and 2, you are replacing the boring words with your improved words. Year 3 and 4, you need to replace the boring words with your improved words, but also add fronted adverbials to each sentence. And Year 5 and 6, you must do the same, add fronted adverbials and a relative clause. Once you've completed this, why don't you try our challenge? We challenge you to make up your own sentence describing something that happened in the story. Try to include good vocabulary, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, and a conjunction. So how did you do? Read your workout and check for any mistakes. Once you're happy, share your favourite piece with your home teacher. Well done everybody, that's the end of lesson 5. Be sure to join us again in the next lesson.